These are the top 9 mods that I'm using to basically fix everything with Monster Hunter Wilds. I want to go over each one of these and I'll drop links down below in the pinned comment. Let's get started. All right, the first one up is RE Framework. This is a must-have mod in my opinion. This will allow us to do so many other things like the global FOV, for instance, get us proper ultra wide. It'll also allow us to use other mods that we'll be going over later in this video. Now, to use this mod here, go ahead and hit the insert key off and on like that to bring it up. And then what you can do is drag it around. Bottom right hand corner, you can drag and make this larger. And then also, if you want to make the font larger, simply click on configuration and then click on font size to make it to where you can actually read it. For you ultra wide users out there, if you're tired of seeing the black bars on the right and left side with this tool, what you'll do is go ahead and go to the graphics area and then drop down the ultra wide FOV options and click that first box right there. And that will get rid of the far left and far right bars. However, it's really zoomed in and cropped in. So to fix that, you're going to click on the ultra wide enable vertical FOV. And then you can also click on ultra wide override FOV. And then from there, you can adjust the slider however you want for your FOV. This will affect cutscenes and other areas of the game. Now, if you don't have an ultra-wide monitor, you could use this as well for a custom FOV, which in my opinion is better than the camera global FOV. So if you use this custom FOV and you use this one here, this will affect everything in the game, including like when you go and talk to Gemma, for instance. Let me show you an example of right here real quick. So when you talk to her and you pull up, let's say, your armor and your gear, like right here, this screen here, check this out. I'm going to hit the insert key to bring this up. And what's going to happen is I'm going to disable the FOV for the ultra wide section of the mod. But now I'm going to enable the custom global FOV. And you can see what happens. Your character goes way back there. And really, it kind of defeats the purpose of having a global FOV because, you know, when you're playing the game, hovering around 50 to 60 is really good. But when you go into your tent or this menu here, it really breaks immersion of the game. So I would actually recommend you not use the global, the custom global FOV. Just make sure that you have override FOV, no matter if you have an ultra wide monitor or not, it doesn't matter. And then from here, just go ahead and slide it around to what you like. I found that 1.3, like 1.2 to 1.3 FOV is pretty good, actually. Take note that when you do this, I'm gonna hit the insert key to remove it. When you do this, the names above our heads, all the characters and stuff, it's completely like not centered. It's kind of like off. Like there's Gemma right there. You see how her name is like not right above her head? That kind of gets annoying. I'm not going to lie to you. So if you find that annoying yourself, you can put the FOV back to normal or just kind of not have it out as far. Now to get this mod, you'll simply come right over here to this website. I have all the links you guys need down in the comments below. And as of this video, we're looking at 01092. These are nightlies. And yes, they do update every single day, sometimes twice a day. So come back here and get the latest one. Now, how do you get the one for MH Wilds? Just simply scroll down here and look for MH Wilds. Go ahead and download the zip just like this right here. And once you get to the zip right here, go ahead and extract the zip file and open up the context of that folder. In here, you're gonna have these files and a folder. Now, we only need one file in here in order for this to work. So what you're looking at here is the install directory of the game on the left side of your screen, and we have the downloaded folder that we just downloaded on the right side of your screen. Now, if you don't know where MH Wilds is installed at, especially if you have it on Steam, go ahead and open up Steam and then find MH Wilds, right click, go to properties and then installed files, then browse. Once you click browse, it'll take you straight to the directory. Now on the right side of the screen, you're going to grab the dinput8.dll file. Go ahead and copy that and then simply paste it into the directory. Simple as that. All right, the second mod that I want to go over here, it's actually a tool here, is the ever so popular DLSS Swapper. Go ahead and come to this page here. Off to the right, click on the one that says latest right here on the releases, and then scroll down to the bottom and click on the one that says DLSS Swapper 1.1.6.0 Installer EXE. Once you install that, go ahead and boot it up and then go ahead and find Monster Hunter Wilds. And then when I'm in here, I just go ahead and grab all the latest DLLs that I have here on the screen, starting with DLSS. Go ahead and grab the latest one at the top, hit the swap button at the bottom. Do the same thing for the FrameGen, FSR, and then XESS. Just go ahead and grab all these latest ones at the top of your screen here, that list. and simply hit the swap button. It's as easy as that. Now you're going to know that you have the latest upscalers because if you go into options and then graphics in the game, select upscaling and then hit the NVIDIA DLSS or the upscaler part of the options. And then right here off to the side, you're going to see the latest upscalers that you swapped out in DLSS Swapper. Now, another really, really great tool to use, you can use this with DLSS Swapper or you can use it entirely on its own. It's really up to you, but it's another great tool that I want to mention in this video. So what you'll do is come to this website here and then go ahead and click on the NVPI or NVIDIA Profile Inspector Revamped.zip. And once you download that, go ahead and unpack the zip and then go ahead and bring up the tool. Now, once you open up the folder, you're going to have several folders and a few files here. I always click the one that says the Revamp, not the Revamp Lite version. So go ahead and double click this right here and then open up the NVIDIA Profile Inspector tool. Now, once you're in here, it's going to be on, by default, it's going to be the global driver profile, the base profile. Now, what we're going to do for the sake of this video is go ahead and type in Monster Hunter and look for the Monster Hunter Wilds profile, which is right here. And you'll know that you're in the right spot because you'll see this green area with the right executables that's linking to the game. Now, if you type in Monster Hunter Wilds and you do not have this profile, all right, the easiest way to get this profile is come over to click on this sun icon called Create New Profile. When you click that, it's going to ask you, for a name. So go ahead and type in whatever name you want. That way you know what MH Wilds profile it'll link to. And once you do that, you're not done. You're actually going to add the executable of the game to that profile. You can do that by hitting this plus symbol here. And once you click that, you're going to find the Monster Hunter Wilds executable right here. Go ahead and double click that and open it. And then you'll have the exe at the top of your screen. Now, sometimes people ask me, hey, do we use this with DLSS Swapper or can we use one or the other? So I've tried both. You can use one or the other. You don't have to use both. But for me, as a failsafe, I like to use both just to make sure that we are getting the latest, at least for DLSS. I can't speak for FSR or XeSS, but for DLSS, I tend to do both. So how do you do that? Go to section 0.2, right? The second section here called DLSS overrides, okay? So the first thing that I do that is actually optional is I look at this FrameGen latest DLL or FG latest DLL, and I go ahead and turn this on. I've tried on and off, haven't really noticed a difference, but I kind of just turn it on out of habit. The next section is over here at the very bottom where it says SR latest DLL. Go ahead and select this and drop this menu down, and then you can say on or off, completely your choice, because I tried on and off, didn't really notice a difference. But the preset is where the money's at. This is what we're talking about right here, the SR preset. Drop this down. Now you have a choice here. You can do preset K, the 310 plus preset K, or you can click the one that says latest preset. Either one of these work. I tend to click on the one that says latest preset. And when I do that, it does show preset K, but it's entirely your choice. Now, once you're done with this, you're going to click on apply changes on the top right-hand corner, and that would complete that step. And by the way, when you boot up the NVIDIA Profile Inspector tool, and if you like using that, and if you see some text on the bottom left corner of your screen, you can actually disable that. So come into this folder here, the one that you downloaded for the NVIDIA Profile Inspector Revamp, and simply click on Disable DLSS UI. It's a registration entry that you're going to go ahead and disable the text. I never had that problem. It never popped up for me, but I've had people drop comments saying, hey, I have this like text in the bottom left-hand corner. I don't know how to remove it. It's annoying. This is how you get rid of it. All right, the next mod on the list here is direct storage. And this is not really a mod. It's actually just a fix or like an upgrade to a version number of direct storage. So technically it's not a mod. We're just upgrading the direct storage, the Microsoft direct storage version number up one. Okay, so this right here would actually, it did fix my stutter fix. It may not fix it for you or everyone, but a lot of people are standing by this program a lot, including me, and I want to talk about it in this video. Direct storage upgrade to 1.23. The game has an older version by default, and what you're going to do is come over to the Nexus website, sign in, come over to the Files tab, and simply come down here and click on Manual Download, and then Slow Download and download this DLL. Once you download the zip file, it looks just like this right here. Let's go ahead and extract this folder here. And once you extract it, we have two DLL files. What you're going to do here is we're going to grab these, okay? And remember, in the prior parts of the video, we're going to go back over to where we installed the game, which is right here on the left part of your screen. And you're simply going to just go ahead and paste that in here. So before replacing these files, you can go ahead and create a folder called backup if you'd like, and simply just grab the original ones and then toss those in the backup folder. And then from there, go ahead and drag these two files here and paste them in here and replace them. That way you have the latest one. And in case you don't know what this is going to do for us, it has a short description right here from the modder that says this mod replaces the direct storage DLL files with DLLs from direct storage 1.2.3, which resolves the IO stutters due to asset and texture decompression and loading. Now, for those of you that are on a 20 or a 30 series NVIDIA graphics card like myself, I'm on a 3080 Ti. One thing that I enjoyed using is this mod here, the DLSS to FSR3. And basically this allows us to have the image quality of DLSS, but we can turn on the frame generation that comes with the game, okay? So because we're using RE Framework, we can now use this mod. Without RE Framework, this mod will actually crash the game. So you gotta have RE Framework installed in the prior steps. Come to this page here on Nexus, scroll down, make sure you're signed in, click on the Files tab, scroll down here, and the option that you're gonna choose is the one that says Universal in parentheses. Let's go ahead and download that one. Once it's downloaded, go ahead and unzip that folder. Let's go ahead and do that right now. Once you unzip the file, or the folder rather, you're gonna have all of these folders and one file here. Now, what do we do from here? Go ahead and open up the folder called DLL_version. Go ahead and open that up. And in here, you're gonna have 3 files. We only need 2 of them. So you need to grab this one here, and then the one that says version DLL. Go ahead and grab these 2. We're gonna copy those. And yes, you guessed it, we're gonna go right back over to where the game is installed and go ahead and paste those 2 files into where the game's installed, in that directory. Now, when you boot up the game, go ahead and open up your menu here and go over to the settings and options, and then you're gonna tab over to the graphics tab. And here, you'll now be able to select the NVIDIA DLSS and then FrameGen if you're on a 20 series card or a 30 series card. And with this, I don't know if you guys can see the frames per second on the top right-hand corner of your screen. It's currently hovering around 75 to 78, but I am using ReShade right now. So when I turn off ReShade, it looks like I'm about up to 81, 82, as the ReShade preset that I have does eat up about 3 to 4 frames per second, but I'd rather have a really good image quality. You need to make sure that you have this enabled on your Windows machine. So type in graphics settings right here, and you're gonna pull this up right here. Once you get here, click on the advanced graphics settings, drop that down, and make sure that hardware accelerated GPU scheduling is toggled on. It should be by default, but if it's not, you need to make sure that this is toggled on in order to use any of the FrameGen stuff. Yes, we can now use ReShade and Monster Hunter Wilds, but you must have RE Framework installed. Without RE Framework, when you install ReShade, it's going to crash the game. So you got to have RE Framework. So here, the key to toggle this off and on is the home key in case you're new to ReShade. A lot of you probably know what ReShade is all about. Now, my custom settings here that I made is very, very basic because I still wanted the game to look, somewhat vanilla looking. And I went with the cast, the AMD Fidelity cast right there for some sharpening, more luma sharpening right there, curves and colorfulness, extremely basic stuff, okay? And then if you want to open up the performance mode, you can go ahead and pause the screen, and if you can, go ahead and take a look at my settings right here and match this, and then go from there if you like what you see on the screen. And by the way, let me show you a before and after. So this right here is what it looks like before, and here we have after. In case you don't know, the ReShade website looks just like this right here. Again, I'll have links in the pinned comment down below. Go ahead and click on download. It'll take you right down here and grab the latest ReShade version right there. Once you have it downloaded, it looks just like this right here. Go ahead and double click that and open it up. And then here, it's going to ask you which game you want to add ReShade to. So this is a Monster Hunter Wilds video. So let's go ahead and click on that one, hit next. And then by default, it's going to find the DirectX version the game is running, which happens to be DirectX, I believe it's 12. Somebody correct me if I'm wrong, but it's grouping 10, 11, 12 anyways. So go ahead and click next after that. And then here it's asking me, do you want to update ReShade only, or do you want to actually grab the ReShade effects? For you, if it's a fresh brand new install, you're going to be updating the ReShade and effects, and you're going to grab the effects that you want for ReShade. Another great mod that I found to be absolutely amazing is removing the annoying buff glows. This goes for your kit. By the way, I'm a glaive player. So if you're a glaive player out there and you're tired of all the glowing from your Kinsect, If you're tired of the glowing from any drinks you have and buffs you have, guess what? You can disable all of the glowing, the constant character glowing, so you see your awesome looking armor. So come over to Nexus, right? Sign in and come over to this one right here called Persistent Buff Glow Removal, okay? Then scroll down, click on Files, and then you're gonna go ahead and click on Manual Download. Once you download it, it comes as a zip file. Let's go ahead and unzip this. And once it's extracted, you're gonna see this right here. It's an RE Framework folder. And yep, you guessed it, you need RE Framework for this to work. Now, what you can do is you can actually just grab just this folder and then you're going to move it over to where the game is installed. So to do that, go ahead and copy this folder and let's go back over to where the game is installed. And you can see right here on your screen that the RE Framework folder is right here. If you don't have this folder, okay, what you need to do is once you get RE Framework installed and you drop in that DLL file for RE Framework to work, you need to get into the game. Once you get into the game, it's going to automatically create the RE Framework folder. Simply paste that folder here. And when you open this up, it's going to be in the auto run folder right here. And you're going to have persistent buff glow removal.lua. That's a script that's going to run in RE Framework in the game. Now, once you're in the game, click the insert key, right, to bring up RE Framework. And what you're going to do is come down here to where it says script runner, okay? And what you're going to see here is some options down here, which one of them happens to be persistent buff glow removal. Make sure that this box is checked. Now check this out. You see this right here, script generated UI. Open this up and you have another option right here. Go ahead and click this and it's going to open up another window, really, really small right here. This is where you can disable all of these items. So as an example, we have item buff effects, hide all of this stuff. And so all these boxes are checked. Weapon buff effect, hide Kenset glow, boom. And then finally, the Palico buff effects, you can hide all that if you choose to do so. So when you get into the game, it looks just like this right here. There's no more character glowing. Now check this out. I'm gonna uncheck this box. Look at my character, right? I'm gonna uncheck this box right here and you're gonna see my character starts to glow. You can see like there's a red shade on the character's cape and he's glowing, right? So as soon as you check this box, the glow now goes away. Do you guys see that on the screen? So here's off by default and then click this on, boom. Now the glow goes away. Looks so much nicer. Next mod on the list is disable the lens distortion. This lens distortion is actually, from what I noticed in most of the latest Resident Evil games, or basically any game that uses the RE engine, but those games actually have a toggle in the options of those games to disable the lens distortion effects, almost like a fishbowl look. So this game didn't have that where you can turn it off. I'm not sure why, but this mod disables that fishbowl effect, that lens distortion. What we're gonna do here is come to Nexus website once again, scroll down, click on files, and then here we have one simple file. Go ahead and download this. Here it is right here. It is a zipped folder or file rather. Let's go ahead and unzip this or extract all. Once you open this up, you're gonna have the same folder that we had in the prior step, right? RE Framework. Only this time when you open it up, you're gonna have disable_lens.lua. So what I do here is I just grab this folder and I just paste it where the game is installed and overwrite it. And when you open this up and you go into the auto run folder, now we're going to have two of these now. We're going to have two scripts running. We're going to have the persistent buff glow removal and now the disable lens. Okay. Now, when you come into the game, when you come in here, now you're going to have this other box that says disable_lens.lua. Now, checking this and unchecking this doesn't really show the before and after effect. I tried it. I was trying to get it to work before I hit record. I couldn't get it to work. There is somebody in the comment section on Nexus that had a before and after. I tried their version and it didn't work for me. So I don't really exactly know how to get it to work, but if you know how, drop a comment. Next mod on the list here is the ever so popular lossless scaling. Now, if you're looking at the screen right now going, what is this? Why does your lossless scaling look like this. This is actually the latest version of lossless scaling, and there's a certain way on how you get this version. This is the newly updated user interface, and how it functions is absolutely amazing. So what the latest lossless scaling can do that's better than before is when you come to the frame generation section of lossless scaling, drop this down, and now you have an option called adaptive, which is a game changer. From here, you can change your targeted frames per second. I have mine set to 120. You can do 144. You can do whatever number you want. So I keep mine at 120. Now we have something called flow scale. And when you highlight your mouse over it, it actually tells you how you want to use flow scale. So basically what this does is it downscales the resolution and then it upscales to your native resolution for better performance. So my resolution is 3840 by 1600. So what I did is you can keep yours around like 65, 70%, but it tells you if you're on a 1440p monitor, you want to keep it at 75%. If you're on a 4K display, you want to put it at 50%. Everything else I actually left on default. I left the scaling type off. I left the mode on auto, full screen, sync mode off, allow tearing, max frame latency on 1. If you have an HDR display, even if it's turned off in Windows, make sure that this is turned on because the game will go dark if this is off. If you have a G-Sync display, go ahead and toggle that on as well. Here you have GPU and display. So if you have multiple GPUs or you have like an iGPU, drop this down and you can select whatever GPU that you want this to render from. I have mine set to auto. And also if you have multiple displays, make sure that you select the correct output display that you want lossless scaling to make use of. So for me, I'm going to use my ultra wide monitor. I also like to turn on multi-display mode since I am using a couple of displays here. Over here to cursor and crop input, I didn't touch any of this. I left it all default. The capture part right here, you can leave on default DXGI if you want to. Read the tooltip to find out the differences between the others. And then your Q target is like your Q frame. I left mine at the 1 mark. You can mess around with this to find out which one's better for you, but I left it on default 1. When you drop this down, you can actually have access to WGC and DXGI. They both work great, but I left mine on DXGI. Now, the weird thing is whenever you're capturing this or recording or streaming lossless scaling, your capture card, it's for you content creators out there, it doesn't exactly know what's going on when you do this. So you're not going to be able to see what I'm seeing on my own screen right here in front of me. But basically what you do is from here, you click on scale and you have 5 seconds to click on the program you want to be used, lossless scaling. So I'm going to click on the game will flash. And then now you'll basically have frame gen in the game like this. Now check this out. If you look at the top right-hand corner of the screen, it says I'm getting 35 frames per second. However, when I'm walking around, I'm not even kidding you. It feels and looks like 120. It's super butter smooth, but I can't show you that through a video recording. You have to see it with your own eyes. This tool is absolutely amazing. And how you get this tool is by coming over to Steam, and then you're going to purchase this. It's going to be $7. And no, I'm not affiliated with these guys. I don't get commission of this, nothing at all. I just think the tool is amazing, and I just want to share that this is another option in case all the other options I talked about is not going to work for you. Now, to get the beta version or the latest user interface, right, you're going to look over where it says lossless scaling off to the left. Go ahead and right-click that, go to properties, and then from this menu, click on betas, all right? And then where it says beta participation, drop this down, and then click on the very top one up here. It's probably set to none by default. You're going to select the one that says beta-beta, all right? Once you do that, it's going to kind of re-download lossless scaling and update it to the beta version. And then boom, you'll have the latest version of lossless scaling. As of this video, it's 3.1.0.1. Another tip here to help you with performance. This actually, I noticed a little bit of difference. It wasn't game-changing, but I think it's worth it. So what you're going to do here is open up your menu here and do a search for graphics settings and go ahead and click this right here. Now, once you open this, we're going to add this app. So what we're going to do is click on add desktop app like that right there and simply go into this window here and find Monster Hunter Wilds EXE, and you're going to click the add button. Once you're in here, you're going to see it right here like you see on screen. Open this up right here, okay? And then from here, it says GPU preference. Drop this down, and I put mine on high performance instead of like let Windows decide or whatever, high performance. In addition to that, make sure it says optimizations for windowed games because the game technically runs in a borderless windowed format. I left mine on, didn't really notice the difference when it's off or on, but that's how you do that. There's no saving either. Once you do this, it's already in the system. Thanks for watching, guys. Happy hunting. Take it easy.